Welcome to Sports Roundtable. I am your host, Brandon Big B Hickman from Coast 97.3. Excited to be back with you again right here on New Howard County Schools TV because it's basketball season. You know it's going down. And first up, let's go to Shipyard Boulevard. I got Coach Queen in the building. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good.
We're talking about men's varsity basketball. And let's be clear, because we're starting our show up for the new semester, new year, 2020. But the Vikings have been playing about 12 games. You guys are like in the mid of your season, right?
Yeah, we're actually halfway through the regular season right now.
All right.
So gotten off to a good start. We're 10-2 and 3-0 in the conference, and so it's been a good first half of the season. But things really going to crank up here in the second half with a lot of conference games coming up here in a short period of time.
Big time. Last game, Hoggard. We beat West Brunswick 53-40. It was a big game. We have highlights from that?
We do. We got highlights from that one and our last non-conference game right after Christmas against Jack Britt.
Okay.
But a couple of really good games for us. You never know coming back out of Christmas how things are going to be. But these are highlights from the Jack Britt game, and we got off to a great start. I think we made 6 threes in the first half.
Wow.
They came out and played a zone. We had scouted them. We'd been in a tournament that they had been in, and they had played nothing but man. And then they come out in the zone, and fortunately we were able to make some shots early and build a lead. We had to kind of hang on at the end. But really got off to a good start. Our perimeter guys have been shooting the ball well. You've seen Brady Rankin and that Sebastian Hedera right there knocking down a three. Cam Blanks with the ball right there. Jacob Fisher, sophomore for us, that's been giving us some really good minutes. And it's just a good win for us coming off of Christmas. And then went down to West Brunswick on Friday night, and they were averaging 70 points a game. We did a great job defensively, held them to 40 points, and we're able to do enough offensively. They're really hard to play against. Jaden Parker at 6'9" and huge wingspan. We were able to get some baskets inside. We kind of got him out on the perimeter guarding some people so we could score a little bit inside. But we've got a lot of guys back from last year's team, and that's helped us early on to get off to a good start against a tough schedule. But it'll be interesting here as we move into conference play where you know each other a little bit.
Right.
As you've seen here in these highlights, we've got the ability to score inside and outside. And, we've got – last year I felt like that we were a little limited offensively with how we could score and who could score. But, we've got at least 7 guys right now that can score points. That Luke Lamport hitting a shot off the bench. That's the second one he's made, and been getting some good bench production. Chris Gibbs knocking a shot down right there. Our post guys did a good job on Friday night of making some shots from the perimeter. Really been sharing the ball well. Good pass right there from Brady Rankin to Cam Blanks. Another pass right there. Jackson Massey, a senior center for us that has just been a really solid 3-year starter. There's a big play right here at the end of the third quarter. That was with about 2 seconds left there in the third quarter that put us up by 7. And then Jackson Massey knocking down a couple shots here in the fourth quarter that were able to keep us comfortably out there in front. And then we did a great job from the free throw line. We were 19 for 23 from the free throw line. We've been shooting close to 80% from the free throw line this year. So a lot of good things that we're doing. We're going to have to continue to get better with the level of play we're going to see in our conference as we move forward.
I ask coaches this question all the time, coming in or out of that locker room. What are you saying to your guys that are they're constantly being a threat, a three-point threat? What are you saying to those guys? Are you saying, hey, continue in the rhythm? Are you switching things?
We work hard on our shooting. We shoot a lot in practice, and You know, we have an expectation that if our guys are going to shoot those threes in games, that they have to meet certain expectations in practice. And you know, we chart a lot of our shooting even during the season. We did a lot in the preseason, still do it during the season, just to make sure that if they're going to take those shots in the games, that they're working at it, and that they have the confidence and we have the confidence in them that they've done it multiple times before they're just jacking them up in games.
Right.
Because everybody loves to shoot threes.
Don't take them out, Coach. Don't take them out. 10-2 conference. You're 3-0. What's next? We're coming up on a game tomorrow and then on Friday, correct?
We've got 3 home games in a row, which is very unusual. But then in our last 9 games of the season, we only have 3 home games. So this is a big stretch for us.
Okay.
We've got Laney tomorrow night, North Brunswick on Friday, and then New Hanover next Tuesday. So, you know, really tough stretch for us. It'll be nice to be at home, but we're going to have to play really well to continue to win these games, because I just don't believe there's an easy night in our league. I think you got to be ready to play every night. Some
good games. Vikings, get on out there, follow your team. Coach Queen is going to make sure it happens, I think, right? That's what's going down. We got more of Sports Roundtable on the way. Thank you. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. Of course, we are smack dab in the middle of basketball season. And if you're just tuning in, it's a little bit different because, you know, you've been with me for football, but we're in basketball, so we get to talk to the head varsity men's coach as well as the head varsity women's coaches. And I'm excited because, you know what? Let's go down, like my grandma said, to 133 and talk to Coach Berting from EA Laney. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
A lot of things going on. Last game, you beat New Hanover High School 57-35.
Yes,
Major.
Sir.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it was a really good win for us. You know, that's always going to be a crosstown rival game. It's always going to be a packed gym. And so for us going in and being able to get several people contributing in that game was definitely very helpful for us, as well as our first half defense.
Right. Now, you do have some returning seniors this year. Well, folks that are now seniors, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Who what was that? She leaves my mind, but there's one senior.
Kennedy Martin.
I think.
Yes. She's our leading scorer. That's a senior right now.
Yes.
Dasani Boney's been with us since she was a freshman on varsity. She's battled a couple of ACL surgeries, but she's definitely someone with a lot of experience. And then, you know, we start 3 seniors and a junior and a sophomore. So
going into a big conference game like the Hanover game or like Hoggart coming up or Ashley, when you go into that game, what do you say to your young ladies before the game? What is that?
So they definitely have great examples with the senior leadership that we have, but we are very young when it comes to playing experience on the varsity level. So for us, it's just a matter of focusing in on what we're trying to take care of, controlling what we can on the court and off the court, and you know, preparing like we have already in practice for that game.
Now, I'm telling my age, but there was a time where when you went to a basketball game, it would start at 4, and be JV, and then the women's varsity, and then I think, women's varsity, and then men's varsity. Is it still like that now?
Similar, yeah.
Okay, because when you're traveling, you guys travel. When you travel, you're on the same page, right? As far as that day. So if Laney goes to Hanover, you guys are going to be there as well.
We're all at the same place.
Okay, got you. Super big. What is your one accomplishment? Because we're smack dab in the middle of the season. What do you think the one thing the young ladies have learned so far right here in the middle of the season?
So we're 10-1. We're 3-0 in the conference.
Okay.
And our one loss came during our Christmas tournament a couple weeks ago. So I think that's been the biggest turning point for us. I think it was an eye-opener. I think it was something to hold us accountable, to not get too far ahead. And that's going to, honestly, I think, benefit us going into the last part of the conference and regular season.
Can we throw that one out and just
Yeah.
It don't matter. It's not
Yeah.
Coming up next, what's up next? What's the next couple games that you have this week, Tuesday or Friday?
So tomorrow night we're at Hoggard. That's going to be a huge game for us. It always is. It's going to be a defensive battle. I'm sure of that. But it's going to come down to us being able to execute on both ends of the floor. And then Friday we host South Brunswick. So again, anytime you're playing a conference game, you got to go into it with the expectation to play the best you can in preparation for the rest of the games as well.
Right. And with that, and I always say when we have our students on, they actually are student athletes.
Yes.
The students being forced, so they got to juggle.
Yep.
Playing twice a week. It's not like a game on Friday and it's football,
Right.
and you just wait until the weekend or till Friday evening. You actually have to
Right.
juggle because you have games, sometimes 3 games in a week.
Yeah.
It just depends. So congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
10-1. Y'all
Thanks.
not playing out there. Get on out to Laney. Well, you're gonna be at Hoggard.
We'll be at Hoggard
Tomorrow night. Y'all start playing Laney Bucks versus Hoggard Vikings. It's gonna be serious. I'm even gonna talk to the Hoggard head women's coach. You ready? You ready, Coach?
I'm ready.
I'm with you. We'll be right back with more Sports Roundtable. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B Hickman from Coast 97.3. Excited about this year, 2020 basketball. We in there. I didn't play, but I'm excited. Coach Holly's in the building, in for Boubacar, for Hoggard women's, varsity women's team. Right now, 11-2.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're really young. We have 4 freshmen and 3 sophomores on our varsity team.
Wow.
So really young.
Okay.
So that, we're making strides little by little. One of our losses was championship game of Christmas tournament up in Fayetteville.
Okay.
A game we probably shouldn't have lost. I mean, It was a very good E.E. Smith team, but we made a lot of mistakes that we shouldn't have made.
Gotcha.
And it cost us that game. But still 11-2, very good. Rolling into conference, this is where it counts.
You're right smack dab in the middle of the season. Last week went in to West Brunswick, beat West Brunswick 49-18.
Yeah, our girls finally hit some shots.
Okay.
That solves a lot of problems when you can make shots.
Right.
So, it was good to see them knock down some shots finally. Defensively, we're typically going to be right in there defensively. We're usually a really good defensive team.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we build our team from, on the defensive end first.
Right.
And it showed on Friday. We were able to hold them to 18 points, which is, that's a pretty good performance.
Major.
So, we again, our young girls are stepping up and making strides little by little and improving throughout the season, which is what we want to see.
Now, with the freshmen and sophomores that you have, being mid-season, do you see someone kind of, we see this might be one of our main players?
Yeah. We one of our freshmen starts.
Okay.
She starts for us every game, and then we've had another one who has started on occasion.
Okay.
And then one of our sophomores has started for us all season as well. So between those 3, and then we have another 1 or 2 that come in off the bench pretty early that have played big roles as well. So they're getting a lot of experience early on, which will hopefully help us down the road. Since we are so young, we only have 2 seniors. So.
Okay, that's big.
Yeah.
And you're also coming up. Before I get to coming up, what was the game before West Brunswick? Was there?
We played Jack Britt.
Okay.
The Saturday right after Christmas.
Okay.
Very good Jack Britt team. It was kind of a defensive battle, kind of sloppy a little bit on our part. Held them to 13 points.
Oh, wow.
So another good defensive outing for us. But we were able to hold on and win that one as well.
Okay.
So it was a good Christmas break for us.
Good. Now going forward,
Yes.
you're getting ready to go into a stretch. We talked to Coach earlier, where you're going to have Laney on Tuesday,
Yes.
and then
North Brunswick
Brunswick on Friday, and then Hanover
the following Tuesday.
On Tuesday again.
Yeah.
So how do we get your young ladies prepared for that stretch?
Right. You know, and
go?
For us, it's focus on what we do. You know, of course, we have game plans in place for everybody we play. You know, we work strategies and things ahead of time, as every team does.
Right.
But, you know, making sure that they execute the game plan that we put in place, and then control what we can do on our end as well. Okay. Like I said, they are growing up a lot. We work them hard in practice, so they know the expectations, not only in practice but in games as well. And you know, this is a big stretch. You know, as we finish out the regular season through conference, you know, every night is a big night. You can't have any off nights.
I say this all the time with conference play. You can have the heart, or you can have the skill and the players, but when the heart shows up, it's a different situation in the conference game, because it's just the atmosphere going in to play Laney at home, or going to play Hanover at Hanover, or however it's set up.
Right.
What advice do you give your young ladies going into those games? What do you say to them? Say, hey, we know it's a conference game, but this is what you need to work on. Or this
you know, again, it's going back to executing our game plan, making sure we have a solid game plan in place, and make sure they understand what it is that we're trying to achieve for that game. You know, whether it's a certain player that we need to keep control, or whatever it is, making sure they understand that and they're focused on that task. And also, it's just a game. You know, to get them to understand, just relax and play. It's just a game. You know, it's not life or death situation. You know, you're not going to get hurt out there. You know, it's not. You know, it's just a game. Go have fun and play. So that's kind of one of those things that we really try to emphasize with our girls, especially the younger girls, that, you know, coming out of middle school, this is a
big thing
huge
for them.
step.
Correct.
Huge step for them. So there's a lot to try to balance.
I got you. You're looking at 11-2 season right now, and there's a lot of folks. There's a lot of young ladies got some good records on here, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of some good play, some good home play with the young ladies. Like I told you, we were coming in. I haven't been to a basketball game this year, but I will be.
There's
I'm excited.
A lot of good games. Yeah, there really are. There's a lot of great teams in our conference, and a lot of battles that take place in those games for sure. You know, we're 2-1 right now. We had a little setback right before Christmas in one of our conference games, but you know, those things happen, and we're ready to keep rolling, bounce back from that, and see what happens.
Oh, you heard it here. Coach Holly's in the building tomorrow night. Oh, right there on Shipyard Boulevard. Stop playing. Go see my young ladies, the varsity girls. They're actually going to be playing E.A. Laney. Oh,
6 o'clock.
I'm excited. 6 o'clock. Get there and be on time. We got more on the way right here at Sports Roundtable. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B Hickman, and like I always say, like my grandma say, we're going up 133. Laney High School. Coach Davis is in here. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, stop. You can't talk basketball without talking about Laney. Stop. Now, coming off a tough loss, conference loss, you lost to Hanover 50-44. You were right in there, and tell us what happened. What thought happened?
Just, you know, anytime you play Hanover, it's just a huge rivalry game. I mean, the gym was packed. As a high school player, I mean, that's what you want. Just that environment was just unbelievable. And just a hard-fought game. Two teams that really got after it defensively. Shots weren't falling. Either way, I mean, Hanover got off to a really good start, made some shots early.
Gotcha.
We're able to build that lead. They were up 6 at the half, and both teams scored 19 points in the second half. So, we had lid on the basket, so neither one of us could find it, could throw it in the ocean. Yes, sir.
Coach Davis, do you see someone, because we're mid-season right now, and so far the season, 7-4 totally. Do you see someone, outstanding player that you wouldn't have thought would be outstanding players?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, we've got a lot of returning players.
Okay.
We've got some guys that their roles have changed. We have
Okay.
a returning Conference Player of the Year with Mark McLaurin on our team.
Yes.
And he's continued to do what he
1,000
did
points.
last year. Yes, sir. He had 1,000 points 2 weeks ago,
Yes.
which is a huge honor. I think he was the 11th or 12th player in Laney history to score 1,000 points. So he's continued to do what he did in the past.
Right.
Now we've got some guys that, they might not have been in the starting rotation. Lawrence Newkirk's a guy who's started for us for the last 2 years, but
Gotcha.
his numbers have gone up. He's really stepped into that role, being that vocal leader that we need.
Gotcha.
We got guys that are coming from JV to varsity. So, we had a lot of success last year and got a lot of returning guys, but everybody's just in different roles right now.
Gotcha.
And so everybody's just trying to find their way, and it takes time.
Always, and we talked about this off air, always wondered, and hopefully inside of Sports Roundtable we'll be able to talk to some of the players. How does it feel to be in their shoes, knowing they're playing at EA Laney, knowing that there's folks like Tamara Young and Michael Jordan and Larry and all those guys that came through that? How do they feel? Because I know it's a tradition for them to be.
It really is. I mean, I know for myself when I moved from West Brunswick to Laney, I mean, it's just, you open your eyes and you're like, I'm at Laney High School. I mean,
Right.
just the history, the tradition of the school. Got people that were there forever. I mean, Coach Ruby Sutton just recently retired
Yes.
2 years ago. Coach Lynch, who's been there for a long time. I brought Coach Coley out of retirement. He was on staff
Right.
with Pop Heron
Yes.
back in the day
Yes.
when Michael and his brother were there
Right.
and had a lot of success. So he's retired principal, and brought him back on staff.
Love it,
And
love it.
so I know from a coaching staff, it opens your eyes
It
being
does.
at Laney High School. But for our young men, I mean, they really take pride in the fact that it's Michael Jordan's high school.
Right. We come off a loss, and then we go into conference again versus Hoggard
Yes.
on Tuesday. What is it that Coach Davis says to his team?
Well, we just got to continue to get better. Offensively, I feel like we're not running our offense as well as we're capable of. I think some of our shot selection is ill-advised. We just got to settle down.
Right.
Some of it is the playing Hanover in that environment.
Right.
You got to settle in. It's tough for a teenager to settle in when
Big
there's
city bright lights.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
1,600 people in
Right,
there, packed
right.
out. You got people standing everywhere on the baseline, and just got to settle down and
Okay.
do what we do the things that we practice, and that's what we'll do when we get back to school today. I mean, we'll get in the gym and really focus on being us. And
Okay.
we got another huge rivalry tomorrow night. The schedule
Right.
didn't set up well for us. I mean, early on, there was 5 teams that people were projected to be at the top of the conference, and we start out with 4 of those teams.
Wow.
So you play Hanover on Friday and turn around and play Hoggard on Tuesday. It's
Right.
tough.
That's a stretch, which they're getting ready to go into a stretch as well.
Exactly.
With that being said, going into this stretch of conference play, what is it that, and you touched on it a little bit, typical day, it's the day before the game. What is it that you're going to do when you open that door and say, okay, time for practice? You sit down, you guys go through a film, or do you say, okay, this is what we're going to work on? Did y'all see what happened last time? This is what we're going to work on.
Well, I mean, now we're day before game.
Right.
You play on Friday.
Right.
So you got to do a little bit of both. I mean, you got to look at the mistakes you made on Friday night.
Okay.
But then you also got to turn the focus to Hoggard. And
Right.
what does Hoggard do, and things
Right.
that we've got to do to help us win against Hoggard. I think the first thing that we need to do is correct the mistakes that we're making.
Right.
We got to fix us first. Once we
Gotcha.
fix us, then we can focus on Hoggard. But today we'll come in, we'll have a typical practice.
Okay.
We'll go for about an hour and 40 minutes on the court.
Okay.
We'll leave the court, go in the classroom. We'll probably watch film for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So it's a grind.
Yeah.
I mean, I spend all afternoon on Sunday evening watching film. It's what you do as a high school coach.
Right.
And then you
Right.
get up on Monday morning, go teach your classes, and continue
Try to
doing
be
what you do.
normal.
That's right. That's it.
He's here tomorrow night, Laney versus Hoggard High School. Make sure you're there. EA Laney Buccaneers, go on over there, support your team, because it's going to be a great game. Pack the house. Let's have a good time. I think I'm going to be there. Keep it locked. We got more Sports Roundtable on the way. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I am your host, Brandon Big B Hickman from Coast 97.3. Excited. You know why I'm excited? Number one, because it's basketball season. That's one. And number two, because I get to talk to the Wildcats last. That's the second thing, because I am an alum. Sorry, y'all. I got Coach Sampson. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Big game. Last game. Lost to New Hanover. I mean, you lost to Laney.
Lost to Laney.
Lost to
yes,
Laney. Tell me about that. What was wrong with that?
Well, we started off very, very slow.
Okay.
They got out to, I think it was a 17-0 run on us.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally scored, and I think we got outscored in the first quarter by 17.
Okay.
And we battled back a little bit there in the second quarter, third quarter, and I think by the quarters, we tied the third and won the fourth, but we just couldn't get over that first quarter.
I got you. What do you tell, you come off of a game like this and getting ready to jump into some more conference play, what do you say to your young ladies after a loss like that? Because it's always a big game when you get into those conference games. You're talking about, Coach Davis just said, 600 people in the building, around the baseline.
Yes.
And, you know, you bright lights, you got the lights on, gym packed, and we couldn't get there. What do you say to your young ladies after that?
Well, it's funny you said young ladies because we are young.
Okay.
I've got 6 freshmen on the roster,
Wow.
3 sophomores. I got 3 seniors and 2 juniors.
Okay.
So we basically we're learning on the fly, as you can say.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much we just got to tighten up on a few things. Turnovers, playing together more on offense. We got to move the ball a little bit better instead of accepting that first shot and taking it.
I got you. I got you. Let me know, this young lady, the point, I forgot her name. Is it Shuford?
Yeah, Miss Andrea Shuford.
All right. She's a junior now, or?
She's a sophomore.
She's a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
All right, and we hear a lot about her as far as her being. Do you see any other standouts that you have that that are grooming or learning and might become standouts even more as they get into senior year?
Yes, sir. We had Miss Tamaya Marshall.
Okay.
She's a phenomenal athlete, and she's been with the program now for 2 years.
Okay.
And she had a great game Friday night, her best. She ended up with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals.
Got you.
And we've been waiting on that from her, statistically, to have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have another young lady, Destiny Newkirk, who plays in the post for us.
Mm-hmm.
She's another one who has a ton of potential, and she's growing every day. So get those 2 girls, and like I said, I've got 6 freshmen. I've got one, Miss Emma Becky. She's a shooter. Young girl, Ty Mercedes Holmes. She's a point guard.
All right.
And who is my other one? Girl in the post, Julia Bradford in the post.
Okay.
So
you feel good. It sounds like you feel good about it.
yeah, I do. I do. I feel real good about it.
That's real good, Coach Sampson. Going forward, Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Who you have Tuesday?
I'll tell you, Tuesday we go down to South Brunswick.
Okay.
It's going to be a good game. He always puts a good team on the floor, always competitive. But these next 2 weeks are just rough for us because we play Tuesday at South.
Okay.
Friday we have Ashley at home.
Okay.
And then we jump on the bus and we go down to Kinston on Saturday.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is this in the regular season?
Yeah.
So it's a regular season game but played on Saturday.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
We usually do that.
Okay.
We usually play a couple of non-conference games during the month of January. So we got Kinston this Saturday, and then we go up to Pamlico next Saturday.
Oh, y'all not playing around.
No, sir. No, sir.
What do you say to your young ladies? And I always ask this question because I love to ask coaches, kind of get their feel and their philosophy on what to say to students that, we get ready to get on the road. We had a tough loss, and let's see if we can bring something home, and then we're going to be home. What do you say to those young ladies going in tomorrow when you walk in on that floor on South Brunswick?
Well, we understand and they understand that it's a real big game for us, being that it's one of our 3A rivals. That's our goal for the season, is to be that top 3A team.
Okay.
And statistically, you know, we're not out of it.
Right.
Topsail, I think, Topsail and North Brunswick are at the top of it now, but you know, that's a goal. So we constantly remind them of the goals that we've set and what our plan is and what we're trying to do. But I mean, it's like I said, we're learning on the fly.
Right.
We've got some kids that are understanding their role every day. And you know, the best thing that I try to tell them is, this happens every game, is, you know, you got to play the next play. We got to turn the page.
Right.
With them being so young, you know, when they make a mistake, they get down on themselves. And with them getting down on themselves, you know, we're playing 4-on-5.
Right.
Because they're a little upset.
Right.
And if we could get out of that real quickly, you know, if we could grow up, that'd be the best thing for us.
Without giving too much away, I asked Coach Davis this too. When you walk in the door this evening, hey, it's time to practice. Hit the steps. Now, I know you're not gonna say that, but what do you say? What's a typical day before a game, or you know, before a practice?
Well, we got our daily routines. I mean, we've got our fundamental drills that we do every day. We're gonna start off with some full court layups,
Gotcha.
some weave, 3-on-2-on-1.
Okay.
And then you know, today we're gonna focus a little bit more on our offensive sets.
Okay.
We've got to work the ball and find the best shot.
Gotcha.
You know, Miss Schufert, I mean, she starts shooting the ball when we pull up the parking lot.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
She'll
right.
make one or two.
Right.
So.
Right.
But we just gotta we've got to understand that, you know, there's a better shot or a higher percentage shot if we move the ball around on offense and you know, make them play a little defense.
Well, good luck going to South Brunswick tomorrow.
Hey, thank you so much.
Hey, Coach is in the building. Hanover, I want you to get on the road and get to South Brunswick. I'm with you. I might be out there too. I don't know how we make all these games, but it's going down. We'll be back with more Sports Roundtable. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B Hickman from Coast 97.3. Like I said, this is our first show on 2020, and we're talking basketball, period. New Hanover counties and all the schools in New Hanover County have come through today, and I got the pleasure, the honor to be with Coach Angel. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Happy New Year.
Hey, same to you, Coach. Let's jump right into it. Hanover beat Laney.
Yeah, it was good.
Big conference game.
Good road win. Real electric atmosphere. The place was packed. The kids came out and they responded. Played with a ton of energy for 32 minutes. And you know, Laney's a very good team. They're very well coached, and you know, we built a lead and kept a lead throughout the game. But I knew they were going to make a run late, and they did, and we held on to win it. It was a good feeling.
Coach, help me out if you can. I saw some highlights via the news, and got some. Makai is a big guy.
He's a man-child.
A man-child.
Yeah,
Is that your largest player on your team?
As far as his build and every game,
Right.
he's
Strength.
He's a man.
Yeah.
He is definitely the new road uniform we have. I downsized it a little bit with 8-inch inseam shorts and a little tighter uniform. And when he came off the football field, when he first put that uniform on, I was like, "Wow, big fella, you fill that thing up." In a good way.
Right.
It's taken a little while. Our football team obviously had a fantastic season. They end up, going to the Eastern Championship. So we were without Makai Stanley, Jaheim Marshall, Quintel Waddell, Malik Myers.
Know that.
Yeah, we were without some guys.
Okay.
Which super proud of their season, their football season. Jaheim Marshall, Makai Stanley are getting lots of awards and accolades, which is well deserved.
Right.
And once we finally get them in the gym, it takes a while for them to get their basketball legs and lungs, and they're finally starting to get into that. Both those, all four of them had a terrific game on Friday.
Great. With that, who did you see that stood out and was like, you know what, they're becoming more of a leader as a Wildcat
The
player?
really good thing about this group right now is our leading scorer Friday night had 8 points. I played 11, 10 scored. When that's in the stat book that's a really good deal. When you got kids come up to you after the game saying how many rebounds they get, how many assists did I have, You just want to give them a hug because they're not worried about how many points did I score. We still have 7 of our 13 kids are underclassmen. I've got 5 sophomores and 2 freshmen on varsity. So us talking to them every day about a collective effort, group effort. Don't worry about. All we need to worry about is the final score.
Right.
And that's the most important stat. And they're finally starting to turn the corner and buy into that.
Great. Who was the game before your Laney game?
We went to Rockingham County and played in a little 2-day holiday classic there.
Gotcha.
It was great. We got out of town, stayed in Greensboro. It was just coaches and players. Not a lot of fans at all, parents, none of that. It was just us for a 2-day trip, and had a really good time with the kids. A little bonding deal, and they're really starting to turn the corner. We saw that in that tournament. We ended up winning that tournament, so we're on a 5-game winning streak. We got a little bit of momentum going into South Brunswick tomorrow night.
Speaking of that, and I've asked that to almost all the coaches for our intro, this particular sports roundtable, you open that door, 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whenever practice is, and you say, hey, let's go, let's get ready to go. What happens typically in a Wildcat situation?
We get after it. They know. When I walk in the gym and blow the whistle and it's time to get going, before a game, if we got a 2-day layout, it doesn't matter. Our practices are really intense. They're not long practices. I don't keep them there long, but it is one thing after the other, and it's really, high energy, lock in, a lot of focus, and let's get better.
Got you. Do you see them improving? Okay, we did this week. Let's try something this week.
Yeah, and we keep it simple, kind of what we do. We just tell them to execute it to the best they can. Effort. We don't coach effort. That's a given. You got to come in and give us a ton of effort, and the stuff that we give you, we expect you to do it very, very well. We demand it, and the kids are when you get, like, we have 2 freshmen on the roster, and they come from middle school where it's a little more relaxed, and then they go. That's a big jump for a kid to go from middle school to a varsity program. Right. And they come in and they're deer in the headlights for a little while. They're like, wow, this is really like the work ethic that we demand, and the effort that they have to bring every single day. And
right.
Once they get over that hump and it's like, wow, this is hard, they start learning and figuring out. It's a culture thing at our place.
Speaking of culture, and this is just what I've asked. I even asked Coach Davis this, being that you're on a head coach of a Wildcat team, we always talk about tradition. And sometimes you have to balance that, because like, hey, I got some new guys, and I got guys that are older and they're more mature, and then over here you got tradition. Hey, this is not how we used to do it. How do you kind of merge those things where people are like, yes, we're Wildcat fans and we love the tradition, but we also love the new things that you have brought to the basketball?
Yeah, I've been here, I guess overall 15 years now, in some capacity, head coach, assistant, and we try to keep everything the same. It's, we don't put their last names on the back of their jerseys. It's about the diamond on the front. So, and you see little ones coming up as, in youth ball and travel ball and stuff that, they come to the games, and I tell the guys, you got to play for the guys that played before you, and you got to set an example and a standard for the ones that are going to come after you.
Exactly.
And that's, it's in my run there as New Hanover, it's been, we've preached that and kind of demanded it, and the kids have bought in, and it's something to be proud of.
Love it. Walk into South Columbus tomorrow, South Brunswick tomorrow, and you guys are going to be ready. What do you say to your team captain before he gets on the field? On the court.
Well, today will be the day before is going to be a very spirited practice. We don't want any letdowns. Big win on Friday, great. That's over. Next play, next game, keep moving forward, stay the course, and do what we do. So, we're going to have a really good practice today. Get on the bus tomorrow, and I expect them to play well tomorrow night.
Wildcat, I tell you, get on the road, South Brunswick. I don't know what you're going to get because they coming. So get ready. It's Sports Roundtable. Thank you, Coach, for coming through. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
And we're in basketball season, so I'm excited. And that is Sports Roundtable. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B from Coast 97.3. Excited, like I said, I've been excited this whole entire show because it's basketball season, and I get to talk not just to the men's varsity coaches, I get to talk to the women's varsity coaches, like Coach Gail. How you doing, Coach Gail?
Hi, good. How are you?
Ashley High School is definitely in the building. The Screaming Eagles. We want to talk about it. Coming off a big win, North Brunswick 63-18. Tell us about it, Coach.
I mean, it was the best first quarter that I've ever witnessed, I think, in a high school basketball game.
Okay.
We scored 31 points in 8 minutes. So for high school girls to put up, actually any level, to put up 31 points in 8 minutes.
Huge.
I mean, it was nothing like I've ever seen before. So I was really excited and impressed with how we started the game after break.
Got you. You go into the half. What do you say to your players going into the half?
You know, proud of what they've done.
Okay.
You know, they did a great job, but you know, we still have another half to play. If their shooters get hot, you know, they could chip into the lead, and you know, you got to stay focused. It's 0-0 and come out ready to play.
Gotcha. Let's take a look at some highlights.
Sure. A little blurry. It looks like we got to the foul line, so you know. Like I said, with this game, we did a lot of good things, especially in the first quarter. We got on the glass. I think that might be Bryn getting on the offensive rebounds and getting to the foul line, being relentless on the boards. We hit a couple threes. I think Mia and Sinai hit threes in that quarter. Mia might have had two. Mia's a new transfer from New York.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, she's a senior. We pressed and we got a lot of steals. And the important thing off of steals, we capitalized off of their turnovers.
Really
so that's good, because you know you don't want to work that hard on defense just to give it up again on the offensive end. So again, I was so happy and pleased because we had a tough, valuable but tough Christmas break with the games that we played. So it was great to see the girls come out and execute the way we did in the first quarter.
Right. I have to ask you this question. Ashley has a new dynamic with Rivers being at Ashley.
Oh yeah.
That changes up a lot of things. Do you move girls around? What happens? Do you let her play in her natural position? What goes on there?
Oh yeah, I mean, she's a natural guard.
Okay.
You know, she is a great ball handler, great passer. As much as she is an incredible scorer, she probably likes to pass it as much as she likes to score the ball. So, you know, everybody has to be more ready and alert. And, you know, as with the game, they were, you know, everybody to score 31 points in a quarter, you know, everybody chipped in some baskets, whether it was from, you know, assists from Sanaya or some of the other girls, or offensive rebounds, which is important too.
They're super big. We got a lot of things coming up for Ashley. What's your next game on tomorrow?
Topsail.
Okay.
Yep. So.
And that's conference play.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
So we're smack dab in the middle of conference play.
Yeah.
You guys are 7-4 total.
Yeah.
So right smack dab in the middle. What do you say going into Topsail?
You know, we just want to take one game at a time. You know, and that's the focus, and get better and work on our identity and make sure we know what that is and execute that, and you know, see an improvement and trying to get better each game, and you know, taking care of business.
Right.
So
Tuesday, Topsail, Friday
at New Hanover.
So you're going to be at New Hanover on Friday. Crosstown, big lights, a lot of folks in the gym, Hanover and Ashley.
Yeah.
What do you say? And I've been asking that going into the conference play. What do you say? Because a lot of times our players and our students want to beat themselves up because, I don't know, it's a lot of people, you know. What do you tell them going to huge games like that?
You know, and I think Sanaya is a good example. It's being hungry but humble. You know, you know, you're excited about what you can do, and but you got to be hungry too, and know that, you know, wins aren't going to happen by just being who you are. Right. And you know, anytime that there's a crosstown rivalry, everybody gets up. Fans are in it. You know, the kids are in it. So everybody's ready to play. And you know, last couple of times we played New Hanover, you know, they were good battles and games, and yep. So it was very exciting, and I think we beat them last year in the conference tournament. you know, with a Lexi, who's a junior on the team,
Yes,
hit a buzzer beater to win that game. So I know she'll have a little extra energy, you know, for that game tomorrow on Friday too.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're at Topsail, correct?
No, we're home.
We're at home. Okay. So Screaming Eagles, this is what I need you to do. You need to show up tomorrow, Ashley High School versus Topsail. Coach Gail needs you in the building.
Yeah.
We need y'all with your streamers, everything is going down. Then I need you to get and come on down to Market Street on Friday versus New Hanover High School. It's going to be some good ball playing for our ladies. I'm excited for them.
Yes.
You look excited, Coach.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, it's fun to coach.
Right.
You know? So you know, you kind of have to be patient and pay your dues, and you know, always have a positive attitude. And when you get an opportunity to coach a player like Sanaya, you know, the whole energy level of everybody on the team rises, and it's just fun to be a part of. And I'm glad that I get to coach these girls every day.
That's what it is. Coach Gale's in the building. Ashley High School, get ready tomorrow. Topsail is where you're going to be at. They're going to be at home playing Topsail, and it's a wrap for Sports Roundtable. Thank y'all for tuning in. Welcome back to Sports Roundtable. I'm your host, Brandon Big B Hickman from Coast 97.3. Thank you for tuning in. I've been saying this whole entire show for 2020. I'm excited because it's basketball season. And we're going to have some great playoffs. We're going to have some great conference play. I'm just ecstatic about it. And, you know, I love the conference play because it gets so exciting and because the kids get in there and the students are ready to play. I do want to mention this. Shouts to Coach Gullidge, who is under the weather. He's not here today, but I want to give you what was going on in Ashley for Ashley men's varsity. Last game, they did beat North Brunswick 60-50, and so far in the season, they're 5-3 total with a conference record of 1-2. So we're looking to see them go into their game tomorrow versus Topsail High School and probably pull off a win, and then they turn around and on Friday they're at New Hanover High School. So all you Ashley Screaming Eagles, get on out there to check out the games. I just talked to Coach Gale and of course Coach Gullidge. He's probably going to be up and running and ready to go this entire week on these couple of runs this week for basketball for the Screaming Eagles. We got more here, and of course make sure you tune in every Monday to check out the Sports Roundtable because we're all basketball right now and we're excited about it right here on Sports Roundtable.